that you, in reality, you're running after your nafs or your dunya. Yeah. That is ego. That is when people who are insisting, showing right away. No, I'm right. When someone is trying to say something, no, I'm right, you are wrong. You don't have to say right or wrong. You don't even have to say anything. From that we know you are right, what you are saying. You're agreeing or you're not agreeing. You're obeying or you're not. You're submitting or you're not. Or you're just in the way of Allah. You're just running after your ego, running after your stubbornness. So how do you know? You're asking me, how do we know? How do we check ourselves? And I'm saying, here let me speak specifically about the murids. Here. Then everyone is going to take lesson from that. We're running away from the fitna of the akhir zaman to come up here to the top of the mountain, to follow the prophetic advice, to live simple, to practice our religion, to remember Allah, and to be in the footsteps of our Shaykh. Isn't that our intention, every one of us? If you think that you're going to run on top of the mountain here to run after the dunya, you're in the wrong place. But Allah is also making it easy for us, dunya-wise. Because our intention is correct. When we are up here, He makes it very easy for us, the dunya, to be running after us. We don't have to run after it. It is open. It is easy. It comes. Anything that we are asking for, because we are not asking for this dunya, we're asking for ahirat. And what we're asking for are things in this dunya to make it easy for us to worship better, to become better murids. Allah opens it through the intercession of our Prophet, through the intercession of our Shaykh. So the intention has to be correct. But how do you know you have that intention 1 year ago, 10 years ago? You look at your work now. You're saying you're running after this ahirat. And you're here at the top of the mountain. How do you know you're still running after ahirat? This is connected to some khutbahs that we gave some weeks ago, a month ago. About what? About sincerity. About what? About hypocrisy. About hypocrisy. Isn't it? And what is that? What is that saying from the holy ones? No one understands hypocrisy or fears hypocrisy except for the sincere ones. Only the sincere ones, they're going to see themselves as hypocrites. So how do you know if you are going to be in the Siratul Mustaqim or not? How do you know? If you don't question yourself, you won't know. If you are not questioning your days, if you're not questioning your work, not only question to say that am I doing this for Allah's sake or not, but to look and to see what are the things that you are doing. Okay, be quiet a little bit, the sohbat is happening. If not, to bring them outside. To look and to say that no, today my work, it is still not enough. And to look sincerely to find what is it that I'm doing that is not enough. What am I saying today that it doesn't fit to what our Shaykh is saying or doing? What am I doing today that doesn't fit to the words that I'm saying, that I'm repeating from my Shaykh? What do? You fight with yourself. You fight with yourself. You're saying, I did this, and you say, how do you know that you did this properly? How do you know that this is acceptable? You don't question yourself. I can see so many. If you question yourself, then that time when others question, you don't get defensive. Because you're doing it every day. If every day you're looking at your ego and you're saying, oh my ego, you are the biggest donkey. You say to yourself, I'm the biggest donkey. You say to yourself, I'm a munafiq. You say to yourself, I'm worse than shaitan. And not just saying as an exercise, you're saying, and you say, because I did this and I did this, because I didn't do this and I didn't do this. Ya Rabbi, I admit, I understand, I'm asking for forgiveness. That time, when you're doing that, when somebody tells you, hey, donkey, you think you're going to get upset? Whether that person is saying the truth or not saying the truth about you. You think you're going to get very upset? You're not. You're going to say, that is what I'm calling myself every day anyway. This person, especially in the Dergah, is being sent by our Shaykh to say something, to remind me of something. Let me take it. But no. Men's fighting, women's fighting with each other. Everyone saying, no, you are the donkey. Me, I'm the best one. I know, you don't know. Fighting. Small thing we give to work together for each other's benefit. Fighting over small things. Never agreeing, never putting down your ego. So if you don't question yourself, you will not know. If you question yourself, you will know the answer. Because you start questioning and you say, I did all this work, and these kinds of things that I did, these few things that I did, it is not complete. It is not too good. I'm going to run to try to fix it. I worship today. I must make intention to put more sincerity into it. I came for Jummah. I must make more intention to put more sincerity, to put more feeling, to put more passion into it. Every Jummah we're saying the date is an honorable day. The date is the most holy day. Is reminding, am I really treating it like that or not? You're questioning yourself. You're taking it and you question. You're fighting with yourself. Then that time when you're fighting with yourself and you're beating yourself down because of that, you will know the answer, whether you're really running after this dunya or not. You will know the answer by yourself, whether you're being tricked by your ego or not. How can you trick your ego when every day you're looking and you say, oh, my ego, you're tricking me again today? How can your ego trick you? You may say that. Then if someone says, this, and this, it is lacking in your work. In however way that he's going to say it. Maybe he's saying it nicely with a smile. Maybe he's going to scream at you. You are going to take the spirit of what he's saying, not the form. Everyone is just hung up on the form. You're going to take the spirit and you're going to say, that's right. At that time, you're not going to get tricked because you're watching yourself. You're going through it very carefully. Because now, you're watching. Maybe you overlook it. Maybe you don't see it. But because you're always watching, and if someone else says, when the Shaykh says, when the Sohbat says, when the ayat that is saying, and it hits you, and you say, this is for me, and you take it very easily, your heart can open, and your heart can say, this is referring to me. Anything that is lacking there, in your own examination of yourself, in your own tafakkur, in your own meditation, everything else, the signs will be showing to you, and immediately it's going to be complete then that time. Especially for a murid. It is very is not a very good position. It is not a very honorable position if you're a murid and you're just being left alone. And no one is touching you, no one is saying anything, you're not saying that. You're just left alone and you're just like that. So, inshallah, we need to become better. Because the signs are showing that our Shaykh is going to come back soon. And what we don't want is for him to see us and say, you haven't changed. You haven't taken one step since I left. We may build things, we may expand, we may have this and that. But how have we changed? How have we expanded? Have we built on ourselves? How are you going to watch that? What is the quality? What is the scale that you're going to put to yourself? Where is the scale that you're going to measure since Shaykh Effendi left? Have I worked on myself? Have I worked on my ego? Look at the service that you're doing. And look at the response of people who are having some authority to the work that you're doing, and how you are going to be responding to that. May Allah make it easy for us. These are confusing times. Don't get confused, because things are very clear in the Dergah. It's either you are going to accept it or you don't accept it. Either your ego is going to take or it's not going to take. It's not a matter of understanding. So many of these things, you understand it better than me. If you're not able to understand it, that means you don't have it in you. What I'm saying, everybody understands, that means you have it in you. You know this already. We know this already. La ilaha illallah. It is not a kalima, it is not an ayat that is taught to us. We already know it. Because every child is born a Muslim, no? Ayatul Karimah is saying. The prophets, they came to remind us. The Quran Karim begins with so many ayats saying, don't you remember? We should remember, inshallah. May Allah forgive me. Fatiha.